Shop's a little cramped today. We're working on the bus. I have an issue with the oil filters exploding every time I start this thing when it's cold. I did just try to film it and naturally it didn't happen, but I know it's going to happen again. Since October of last year, it's happened 11 times. I've gone through many filters and many quarts of oil. So let's try to figure out why that's a problem. So I think my problem is actually that this, or what I'm hoping it is that the oil pump in this thing is huge and absolute overkill. I'm banking on the fact that it's probably a 30 mil oil pump, so we've got to pull the whole front end of the engine apart so that I can pull the oil pump apart and measure that. If it's not that, then I think the only other thing it could be is that the relief piston at the back of the engine near the flywheel is actually stuck in the case. But I want to do this first. So let's do that then. So I do have some 26 mil pumps, but they may require modification to use this this pump cover with. So we'll see how it's done, because as far as I know, Berg actually uses factory Shattuck oil pumps that they modify in-house to use with their pumps. So I'm hoping I'll be able to look at theirs, or maybe I'll get lucky and the housings are all the same, it's just the gears that are different, and I can just swap the gears out for something smaller. This should just come out like that. Oh, I forgot I zip tied that to the oil line, so I'm going to clip that off so I can get the bar out of the way. So now we're going to take this guy off. It should just be these 4 bolts, and then I can pull the gears out and have a look at what's going on. So, what do those look like to us? Are those 13s, we think? Maybe? Hey! Someone's certainly going to dump oil all over the place. So since, like, I don't know, I think it was October of last year, if you follow my Instagram, you've seen that several times I've had filters blow up on me while I've been driving, or when I start the bus cold. And since then, I've gone through probably 11 filters and 40-something quarts of oil, and it's been a nightmare. So I figure, even though it didn't do it to me today, I really got to figure this out, because I know it will do it again at some point, and I'm tired of spending money on oil and stuff. So what I'm thinking is that the pump is too big, and even with 1030, because I was using 2050, even with 1030, when it's cold, it's so thick that it's, path of least resistance. The filter's going to blow up. So let's see. Yeah, all right, let me see if I can get a thing under there. Mind the noise, Jeff's over there detailing stuff. Let's see if that's enough. It should be. All right, so pull this guy off. Boy howdy, those gears look pretty big. Let's see what happens here. Let me pull this guy. I think It's the bottom one that's, okay, I might need pliers. I wonder if I can use these. Gently, there we go. Okay. All right. So I guess all you have to do no, that's a 26. All right. Well, scheisse. Okay. Well, now I can put all this back together and explore other things. Great. All right, well, I've got the front side of this back together. I'm trying to figure out where I can put a light. That should work. So now we're going to take this guy out here in the back and see what's going on. So as I understand it, as I'm bumping the camera around, oh dear, oh, I really should have jacked this bus up. Well, apparently my phone stopped recording. I've got the plunger out, and it doesn't look. This came out really easily. I don't think this is the problem. So now, the only thing I can think of that may be the problem is actually the adapter that my filter spins onto is not flat. And I don't think I have another one of those. So, oh, maybe I do. I don't know. I gotta check. Maybe I just gotta take that whole thing apart while the oil system's empty and try to straight edge it and see what's going on. Maybe I can smooth it out somehow. Ugh, God. All right, well, let me now get this back together and we'll explore other avenues. All right, well, it's been a couple of days of driving this around. So after confirming all the things were fine, I pretty much just switched to 520, and that got my cold idle pressure down pretty good. So it pretty much caps out there, and that seems to be good enough for me to drive without popping filters. Let's see. Unfortunately, that's kind of the end of the episode. Well, at least for Alla. We got to talk about something else now. So, as y'all know, Rachel and I bought a single cab down in North Carolina, and this has been like a plan for a while that we were going to try to buy a single cab and build it wherever it sat and drive it home. It started in Washington, and then it actually for a brief period was Alaska, and then turned into North Carolina. And plans have changed yet again. So we still have the single cab, but I tried to register it last week, and Rhode Island's laws for vehicles purchased out of the state have changed. They now require VIN inspections, which is possible to do when the vehicle isn't in the state. There's just a couple of extra steps. Now, the problem here is that the North Carolina Police Department in Concord didn't want to play ball. They called me, they did the VIN inspection, so I know it's good, but they called me while they were looking at the bus and said, we don't have the form for this. We're not going to make the form, and we are not going to fax anything to anyone for any reason at any time. I'm like, okay, great. So I called the enforcement office up here in Rhode Island, and they pretty much told me that I was shit out of luck. Oh, this is much better than mine. So I was forced to ship it up here. Well, ship's a strong word. The seller, Connor, very nice chap, actually ended up having to come up this way anyway to buy another bus, so he said that he would just bring Gloria up for us. So this arrived at 1:30 this morning. I'm very tired. So obviously this changes things a little bit. Rachel and I are still going to do a trip, a big, long, dumb trip in June that we are going to film. We're just going to build the bus here first so that we can get it registered properly and all that. Next week, I'm going to do an episode, full walkthrough on Gloria here so that y'all can see the extent of everything. And maybe we'll start getting this god-awful yellow paint off, because there's a much better color beneath. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like, leave a comment, share with your friends. You can follow me on Instagram at WickedWorks. And we will see you at the next one. Okay. All right.